It's me, a washed-up YouTuber. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And the Jacob Wile.
There's the gusto we're looking for, Jacob. At least someone brought it. All right, and welcome to the Super Mario Galaxy Movie SpoilerCast. Wow, that did not sound like that. That sounded like Luigi from The Simpsons more than Luigi from this series.
The Super Mario Galaxy
Pie.
I think we should call John Leguizamo to try that over.
I know, right?
The Super Mario Galaxy Movie SpoilerCast.
There you go, Jacob. There you go. All right. So, guys, this movie isn't controversial at all.
Well, no.
It is kind of weird.
On my side of the internet, it is unfortunately very controversial, and I hate to say that.
Your side of the internet makes me hate the word internet, but yes.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to go ahead and go first because I have some thoughts on this thing. Generally speaking, I don't really understand where the hate is coming from because, I don't know how aware you guys are, but this thing is getting pretty roasted, not just by critics, but by fans of the games as well. It's kind of a certified flop as far as the court of public opinion goes, at least, like I said, as far as at least critics and Nintendo fans, like those two factions, which, as you guys know, that's pretty much like half of my YouTube algorithm right there, movie critics and Nintendo stuff. So, here's the thing. I approach these movies through the lens of, is it going to give me the same level of joy and fun factor that the games did? And by and large, I think this is an improvement over the original Mario movie in that regard. And here's the thing, and this is where I'm really going to differentiate my opinion from most other people. I genuinely think this is a better Nintendo experience, not necessarily a movie, but a better Nintendo experience, because unlike the first Mario movie, it doesn't have to have the the trappings of we got to save Luigi and Mario's father disapproves of him, and we got to have a big emotional scene with Donkey Kong where his father doesn't approve of him too, and they bond over that. We don't need any of that. We're having fun here. We got Yoshi. We got fucking Bowser and Bowser Jr. We've got, spoiler alert here, this is full-blown spoiler territory.
SpoilerCast.
Yeah. We've got Fox McCloud doing a barrel roll while piloting the goddamn Comet Observatory. Yeah. I don't know what these fucking people want, all right? The only thing I would want in this movie, granted, the only criticism I really do take seriously, and I think is kind of a knock on the movie, it really needed more Rosalina. I feel the same way about Rosalina in this movie that I feel about Luigi in the first movie, where it's potentially the most interesting character got sidelined. I felt that way about Luigi in the first movie, and Rosalina, Jacob, I know you know about Rosalina, but Dragon, you might not know, but she's a very deep character, and unfortunately, I feel like her character got a little bit shortchanged here. We'll see where they go in the sequels, how they take her.
Well, to be fair, the same thing happened in Galaxy 1 to Galaxy 2.
Oh, that's very true. Oh my God, Galaxy 2, she's a non-factor. You're not wrong about that.
Still a fantastic game, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, so I think I've always said from the start that I think this movie, especially with its emphasis on Yoshi, should have just been the Super Mario World movie instead of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And honestly, I think that's a better description of what the movie actually is. So this movie is to cinema what a single grain of rice is to... All right, Teddy. Yeah. That's where I'm coming down on this, man. I had a blast with this thing. I don't care that it doesn't have a plot. I don't care that the characters are pretty paper thin. Because you know what? That's what the game is. The game is pure fun. The game is pure eye candy. The game is pure visual enjoyment. And that's exactly what I got out of this. I actually respect the fact that this franchise is bold enough to just be fuck it. we're not going to do anything except try and recreate the fun factor that is playing the goddamn game. Cock-a-doodie on! All right. Sorry.
Okay.
Jacob, what are your thoughts?
Well, actually, I didn't see much discourse on this personally. Like, and if anything, I saw quite a lot of people actually defending it from people who said like, "Oh, this movie has no blah 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 blah." I actually saw a lot of people like snap it. Granted, they use the whole "it's a kids movie" excuse, which I don't necessarily agree with because kids movies are allowed to have plots.
It's a Mario movie. I don't think the kids factor has anything to do with it. It's a goddamn Mario movie.
But my point is, like, they were still standing up for it, saying that sometimes a movie can just be a fun experience. And I personally agree. I had a great time with this movie. Is it like the deepest, best animated movie ever made? God, no. But is it a blast? Heck yeah. Like, it captures the fun. It has great energy, and it's probably Illumination's prettiest movie so far. All the characters are settled into their roles very well. And like I said, I didn't see as much discourse, but I personally enjoyed it. Honestly, like I said, I think the actors are more comfortable in their roles. And of course, you get to have all the interesting side pieces and like establishing basically a Nintendo cinematic universe or partially a multiverse in the case of Fox. Like, they went all out with this one. I had a great time. Dragon?
Jacob, it is not a bad thing that you are not on my corner of the internet. All right, that means that you're winning in life.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I did say, like I said, I saw some discourse, but most of it. But again, I did see more people defending it.
The discourse is coming mostly from the film bro side of my algorithm. To be fair,
it's like, oh, it's not a deep introspection on the human condition.
Yeah, I did.
It's not A24 enough.
Anyways, Dragon, what are your thoughts?
What would the Criterion Collection say about this?
Oh my god.
Anyway, so here's the thing. Look, I'm arm's length with Mario. I mean, in my generation, I had the Game Boy and had the Game Boy Advance games, and that's pretty much it. Like, I think the furthest I really got was I had the original, obviously not Donkey Kong, because that was more of an arcade kind of thing. But I had the
I had the Donkey Kong kart.
What I mean is like the original, actual Donkey Kong, like when you like the Jumpman era Donkey Kong, like that one.
I had that too.
Wait, did you have Donkey Kong specifically for Game Boy?
Yes, that's the one I had anyway.
Oh, okay.
The one that expanded the arcade.
Yes.
Did you have Donkey Kong for Game Boy?
No. I had Donkey Kong Country as for Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is I didn't have like the original, like the first appearance for like Donkey Kong and Mario. Of course, famously, was like the arcade game and everything. And anyway, so I didn't have that, but I had like we had like the Super Mario Bros. When they're jumping, it's the standard thing where you have like you're jumping on the turtles and like the pipe setup, like the classic, the original.
So just Mario Brothers.
Exactly, Mario Bros. So there's basically so I had that, and then I went on to like I think Super Mario World or whatever. I don't know if it was the third. It was the one with the capes. I think it was Super Mario World.
Yeah, that's Super Mario World.
So essentially, though, that's my Mario. That's pretty much all I really had with Mario growing up. Very much those two games, more or less. There might have been an additional one that came right before it. And then there was Kirby, but the Nintendo is kind of like, and obviously the Pokemon games. But in terms of Mario, that's pretty much it. So I've always been arm's length with Mario. So when the first Mario movie came around, I was kind of the demographic they were looking for to a degree in terms of like people who have never could stand to learn more about Mario, stand to learn like kind of get a baseline of like people who could fall in love with Mario if we do our jobs right here. And the first movie I think did a great job of selling me on the character and the world beyond just like the experience of playing the side scroller, just like this, the general, just kind of like the pop culture osmosis of what Mario is, and just kind of like, oh, it's a fun game. And like like for like the non-fan perspective of like Mario is actually pretty cool. And that's kind of what I walked away the first movie with. And I like that we infused a little pathos in there. I cared. The point being, my expectations, I want to care about Mario. And the first movie made me care about Mario and Luigi. I wish we got a little bit more Luigi, but what we had, though, I still cared about these guys from the beginning and in the third act. And that's what mattered to me. And I got a feel for what the world was, and it felt authentic to like just this, the minimum that I, the bare essentials that I knew about Mario. So, I went into this kind of similar. The only expectation I had was, well, we set up Yoshi, and I really liked Yoshi in the Super Mario World game, so I hope Yoshi gets well represented. I hope we don't sidestep Yoshi and do what we were doing. Then we have the trailers, the Yoshi is there. I just hope we didn't just like throw him in randomly. So that's the only expectation I had. And again, similar thing, if I know nothing of Super Mario Galaxy, and I know there are other princesses, I mean, I wonder how, that's going to go, and they're going to make me care about, the princess and just kind of this other world and all, etc. I had a great time with this. I did. It was fun to again like I said, it's just fun to get to know Mario and just kind of nostalgic without the fandom attached to it. Without like, oh, Mario has to be this or it has to be that or it has to mean all these things. Just like I like this Mario guy. We spent the first movie getting me on board with Mario, and now we're just doing a Mario adventure, which I mean, admittedly, it felt the nostalgia I had were the Mario World things that we saw in this movie. So in a movie called Super Mario Galaxy, I can understand why people might be, I don't know, a little cheesed off saying, well, this is more Mario World than Galaxy. Why didn't they rename this film?
That, like I said, I will agree on that. That is a legit criticism, I think.
I'll give them that in hindsight because we do. Admittedly, if they do a third one, they got to put them in that cape more. That's the expectation for a third one. Okay, if they do Super Mario World, make it official, put them in the cape more and the Tanuki.
The third one has got to be Odyssey at this point, right?
Well,
what
do
you think so, Jacob?
And the thing is, they did have a lot of elements from Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, so
they also had elements of. If anything, this was kind of a smorgasbord of Mario. It was Mario 2, Odyssey, World, definitely some Alex in there,
and regarding some of Bowser Jr., even Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of actually
even with the Bowser Jr. stuff.
It's like, well, I think part of his design was inspired by his Wonder form.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway. So, like I said, just to kind of echo some of the sentiments earlier, it's just that, the Mario games are about simplicity and just making an exciting game and just kind of like a really cool side scroller. Ultimately, that's what the Mario games, or at least the original Mario games, and like I think the introduction to Mario for a lot of people, that's what it's about. And, maybe this film is a little ambitious with all this, the smorgasbord approach, however deep cut fans may feel about it. But fundamentally, I thought it was good, and it's not as much like a statement on Mario, and it's admittedly, I think if you hold these two movies side by side, it's not as much a statement on Mario and the world of Mario as the first film was. Like the first film felt like if we only get one bite at the apple, we want to just kind of make people care about Mario. This one's more of like, well, we did that already, so now we're just going to have fun with it. So I mean, it's not a contest. It just feels like this is the logical progression. I mean, they don't need to sell people on Mario, clearly, as the box office will show you on that one. And, it was a really enjoyable theater experience, man. It's just Mario's cool.
Also, one more thing I have to say about my theater experience, because I might as well shout it out. I actually did go to the midnight screening of this thing. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you guys, it was really cool to go to a proper midnight screening again.
However you found out about that.
Right. it wasn't the same energy as something like, like the Dark Knight midnight screening back in the day, obviously. But no, it was fun. It was enjoyable. And I also will say that I am kind of a convert when it comes to what is the Screen X, the Screen X technology, where they have they project it on the sides of the walls. Like,
you have the moving
it's not
chairs.
as good as IMAX, but I do think it's pretty immersive, especially for movies like this in particular. Like, the first time I saw Screen X was for Furiosa, and I just don't think that was a great movie to do the Screen X thing with. But for movies like this, it's candy. It just accelerates the experience. Anyways, let's see. I want to shout out a couple other things from Teddy. He says, I still think the live-action 90s movie is the superior Mario movie. I mean, honestly, look, just as a pure film, like a pure, actual, like, real movie, and not a collection of Easter eggs and key jangling, yes, I would say the original Mario movie has held up actually surprisingly well. But I don't know. I think these movies are probably a lot more watchable, though. Teddy also says, okay, I will say this: if you went into a Mario movie expecting anything more than a fun kids film, kind of have yourself to blame. This movie never hid what it was. Yeah, but like I said, it's less about the kids thing, and it's more about the Mario of it all. The Mario.
He does also
You're
say
a
that
Mario brother.
Yeah.
Now I'm just quoting demo reel.
Yeah.
You're a Mario brother. What's so scary about Mario? He terrifies me. The man kills turtles. He's a mean. All right, I'm sorry.
Now there's a crossover. You should have Mario versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the sewer,
or Mario versus the nostalgia critic. Anyways, okay. So let's just kick it off, guys. Where do you want to start? I mean, I feel like this conversation could either be really quick because there's like literally no real plot to this thing, or it could go on for 2 hours because it could just evolve into like, remember this, that was cool. But where do we want to start, just in general?
Okay, so I think we have so for me, I thought I had a really good impression of Rosalina. I thought it was a strong opening with the intro of her. Again, I think we're really hitting the themes of family in this movie. I think between, we have like the maternal relationship with her and the stars, juxtaposed with the father-son relationship. The what?
They're called Lumas.
Okay, the Lumas. The star-shaped Lumas. Okay, the point being her and her Lumas. Juxtaposed with Bowser and son, Bowser Jr., the father-son kind of story, and in the first movie, and as well as this movie, we have our brotherly dynamic, and we have our sisterly dynamic ultimately in this movie. So I think that we kind of do some fun. We've been building kind of the family thing in Mario pretty well, and I thought we really hit it well because I cared about, again, in little time. It's like I care about this Rosalina and her Lumas. She was a really good mom to them, and it's like, oh no, it was a very harrowing thing seeing her kidnapped, but she defended the heck out of those Lumas, man. This is what I'm talking about. Simple expectations. It made me care from the outset, so it's like I want her to be reunited with her babies.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
And speaking of Bowser Jr., it is actually very surprising who voices him, even though it was revealed months ago.
Dude, yeah. I still can't wrap my head around it, bro. I really can't. I can't wrap my head around the goddamn Donald Glover thing either, honestly.
The Donald Glover thing's hilarious. That I knew about going into
it very much reminds me of George Clooney voicing the dog on South Park.
Yep.
But what else is George Clooney gonna do? Come on.
No, okay, so yeah, I do agree that the start of the movie, it did. I think it established Rosalina very well with the bond with the Lumas, with the reading the book and everything. That's like kind of her reading the story to the Lumas is kind of the heart and soul of the original Mario Galaxy game in a lot of ways. Now, granted, I feel like one of the things that people are going to criticize the movie for is just kind of the basic fact that the story that she reads to the Lumas is not as heartfelt in this. Like it's much more just a vehicle to get to Peach, whereas in the movie, or I'm sorry, in the game, the story that she's reading the Lumas, it's much more about like her own personal tragedy and like losing her friends and then coming to find the Lumas and found family and all that. Like it's kind of it's a harrowing kind of story, and it's one of the reasons why the original Galaxy game is as acclaimed as it is. And I do think they kind of...
It's a surprisingly touching story for a non-RPG Mario game.
It is, yeah. And unfortunately, I do kind of have to agree that they did dumb it down a little bit for the movie. I don't, Jacob, where do you come down on that, especially the whole thing with Peach? Like, do you think that was a smart move that they gave the Rosalina the Peach connection, or do you think it almost kind of like diluted what the character was in the game? Because I'm honestly a little mixed on it.
I mean, I think it's a kind of an interesting way to differentiate the movie universe from the game universe.
And it was set up in the first movie pretty well.
I mean,
That's true. That's true. And you're
I
not
mean,
wrong, Jacob. I hear your argument there.
I mean, as far as the game goes, I mean, especially considering that they didn't even really have much of a story in the second game, even though that game is also very good. And I will say, like, it is kind of an
The
interesting
second
change.
game is in Super Mario Brothers 2.
No, as in Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, the second Mario Galaxy is very much just like, hey, it's the first game again.
But with less story.
Yes. It's a great game I think it's probably better from a platformer perspective, but yeah, from a story perspective, not so much.
Well, I mean, like I said, outside of the like RPGs, Mario games aren't really known for their compelling stories, which is where Galaxy kind of differed because it would manage to be both an excellent platformer and, for what it was worth, tell a compelling story.
Definitely.
So I guess
so I'm kind of two minds of it as well. I definitely didn't. I will give it this. I didn't expect the twist that this movie gave us. So I was like, so I can kind of at least give it credit for giving a unique experience. But as far as being a one-to-one to the actual game, I can kind of see where people are kind of iffy on it.
So it's like I don't know if it's just like me having like the low bar that I have with these movies, but I'm drawn to how they're giving me an emotional and just kind of simple anchors to invest in with these these Nintendo characters, where versus like the assumed reverence and fandom I think a lot of people are going to the movie expecting, and I think it helps sell them to to the greenhorns like myself. It's I think I thought it was very cute that the Lumas, one that she was the Luma's mother, and then that the Lumas, love Mario and Luigi. They're fanboys for, they're fans of Mario and Luigi. Which I found like
that
so
element of
cute.
it was kind of cute. That was a cute addition. I'll give you that.
And it is kind of funny, and it's kind of also cute that Rosalina wants to tell stories of spoilers. She wants to tell stories about her sister to the Lumas. But
Honestly, like that does kind of fit in line with the original game, where she's telling. She's kind of covertly telling stories about herself and her own childhood. It's like, it kind of fits in the same spirit of that. I don't think it's quite as emotionally potent, but it's still kind of there.
But it isn't. But again, the Lumas, like all little kids just want to hear the same story over and over again.
Now, in hindsight, so it was a great scene. So we have Bowser Jr., which, by the way, I like that with Bowser Jr. He looks silly, but he is a credible threat. I love that dichotomy with Bowser Jr.
I legitimately do like the fact that with Bowser Jr., we get a threat that is like legitimately more threatening than Bowser, who in the first movie, I mean, he was entertaining as hell, but he really was just a joke through and through. A great joke, a really funny joke, but
and it's kind of interesting how in a reversal, Bowser Jr. is actually the one who influenced his father to become a villain again. I know that's a bit jumping ahead. We're obviously going to be jumping ahead, but like Bowser throughout this movie was actually trying to go straight until he actually just went back to being a villain for his son.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. That's a great element of the.
I know, and again, the Mega Leg. The dragon. I'm sure you love the giant vehicle that Bowser Jr. was piloting.
Yeah, it was an awesome vehicle. So here's what I'm getting. So with that sequence, it was great. But again, it was a large part of it was in the trailer. And given that Rosalina has kind of a minimal role in this movie, given that if that was basically her big moment, one of her big moments, it feels like maybe we shouldn't have made that the button of the big trailer, perhaps.
Yeah. And the thing is. That actually, I don't think Bowser Jr. actually piloted it in the games. I don't remember.
He does now.
I remember in Galaxy 2, he pilots a boss. I don't think it's this one, but it's a boss. That was a real fucking son of a bitch for me, dude.
Okay, Mario experts. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bowser Jr. His weapon of choice seems to be this magical paintbrush. Am I correct? That is from the game as well. Like that's a primary. That's
Jacob. You said that's from Wonder, right?
Like, the brush itself is kind of also it's kind of a mixture of things that happen from all the way
Isn't the
from
brush kind of like loosely a sunshine thing?
it originated with Bowser Jr.'s first appearance in Sunshine,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's like the way it's used is some of his Wonder stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So
but,
it's
but,
kind
It
of
like
gave me Phantom Blot vibes.
yeah, it kind of is like, but he did that like in Sunshine. He used the brush to create a paint clone of Mario, and use it to frame him. All the while, this is something that I'm kind of glad they didn't adapt for the movie. He was convinced that Peach was his mother.
Oh, I'm so glad that that's the kind of thing where it's like, hey, if you want weird character development, that's what we could have gotten instead of like just keeping things simple.
Yeah.
Now, what was the paint purple in the game, or is that something they just did for the movie?
I think it was mostly for the movie.
In hindsight, I wish it wasn't pink. I wish it wasn't purple because I'm just getting like Harold and the Purple Crayon vibes at some point in the movie. Like, oh man, they should have gone with any other purple.
I think it might be purple, but I don't exactly remember. I think it's just whatever it wants it to be. And he has used a paintbrush all the time. Even in his Smash Bros appearances, he does like paint the screen and become Paint Mario. But I think like his like bandana with his face, I think that's from one.
I love the bandana thing. I love like the band look like a bib or something. It turns it into like this cool bandana. I'm like it allows him to have like Bowser teeth. It looks really. He only has like the one tooth. Like that's really cool.
And like I said, the wildest thing that he's voiced by by Benny Safdie.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah, one of the Safdie brothers.
Yeah.
Your favorite directors, Dragon.
Well, wait, which one did the Smashing Machine?
Benny actually.
Wait, so you're sure it was this Safdie?
Yeah.
Okay, this Safdie's okay in my book.
They did both Uncut Gems. They both did Uncut Gems, and I think after that they amicably decided to go solo. Like Josh Safdie then did Marty Supreme,
Uh-huh.
and then Benny did the Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. And they wore hats and they went on adventures and they jumped on turtles and it was a whole Safdie affair.
Oh god.
But it was definitely, I will say, it is kind of an interesting choice. I was kind of honestly unsure when I first heard he was doing it, but I gotta say, he actually did a pretty good job here.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Yoshi. So Yoshi, here again,
the Donald Glover thing is just wild.
Yeah, but I love that Donald Glover is literally just such a fan, and he earned it, and he actually did right by the character. That was cool.
Apparently he just wanted to be in the movie because his kids wanted, and they specifically requested Yoshi, and they were like, "Okay."
God,
really? You mean he wasn't like a lifelong Yoshi fan? Really?
I think he is a fan of the franchise.
Honestly, the dude is pretty fucking spot on. I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
Like it's like the difference between like a really good Donald Duck impression and one that's just trying to force it. I really do think it's kind of to the point where you kind of have to wonder why they didn't just hire the voice actress who does Yoshi for the games.
Kazumi Totaka.
Uh-huh.
Who was also a composer for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Speaking of which, Brian Tyler did the music for this movie. I think he did a great job. I love how he incorporated.
Oh my god, the fucking music in this movie is just impeccable.
I loved it when we heard like some of the classic themes like worked in orchestrally into the
and they reduced the amount of licensed soundtrack.
Yes. Which is
I saw somebody did something really cool. It's kind of like one licensed song that would have been awesome had they used it in the movie. It was like perfect 90s cheese. It would have felt straight out of the 90s Mario movie. It would have been awesome. It was somebody did like a little brief edit of the scene of Yoshi running through town, which we'll talk about, and they played Walk the Dinosaur.
I can see that.
Which is like from one of the worst dinosaur movies ever made, but it's an awesome song and it's so darn catchy, and it would have fit this movie and fit Yoshi like a glove. But it would have been the earworm though. That's the problem. It's an earworm of a song.
Oh man!
Everybody walk the dinosaur. That's
perfect.
Like speaking of which, like I love how they actually meet Yoshi and it's the first sign of Odyssey in this world where they go to Tatsurina. the giant inverted pyramid.
Yeah.
Honestly, my thing is I almost kind of wish that they would have saved any Odyssey stuff for the sequel, just because I feel like with Odyssey, if we had it in the sequel, we'd kind of have it like, for example, like I really think we blew our load with the T-Rex, man. Like that's kind of jumping ahead, but that T-Rex baby thing, that's probably my least favorite scene in the movie. It is the one scene in the movie where I kind of feel like they went a little overboard about like, we got to cram in this, we got to cram in the babies from Yoshi's Island, and we got to cram in the T-Rex from Odyssey. We got to cram in everything.
You know what would be adorable?
So I don't know. Like, I do think it's cool that we see the Sand Kingdom. Like, you know, I kind of feel like this legitimately felt like it could have been the opening of the Super Mario Odyssey movie, not the Super Mario Galaxy movie, if that makes sense.
I tell you, I was thinking about that. Like, it would be amazing if like Christopher Nolan like posted something or like did like an advertisement where he's playing. Like it's like, you know, they have the thing with the director in front of the movie. They talk about the movie. Like, what if it started with like Christopher Nolan just playing Mario Odyssey? And it says, "Oh yes, here's the movie you're about to see." You know, almost like a Hitchcock. Basically, imagine like Christopher Nolan's Alfred Hitchcock with a video game. That's essentially what you're opening.
Well, Dragon, they're both Universal, so there is that.
Yeah. There you go, a little cross promotion like this. Nolan like cross run the heck out of Mario Odyssey.
That'd be hilarious.
Anyway, the movie that most likely wins the Oscar, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and now we have the new Mario Odyssey movie, and Christopher Nolan is that. What if that's the first trailer for Mario Odyssey? It's just Christopher Nolan saying,
"Oh, that'd be fucking awesome."
Okay, so
you saw one Odyssey, now come see another Odyssey. It'd almost be kind of like a play on the old Scooby-Doo teaser trailer.
Yeah, the whole Batman thing. Yeah.
Odyssey 2.
God. All right, so point about Yoshi again. There was a concern that we were just kind of like we're dropping the Yoshi post-credit thing, is going to just throw him in there somewhere. But I love the fact that we took a moment and we did this awesome, fun montage that fills in the blanks of like, no, it picked up where
featuring
the
one cameo of Donkey Kong, and I like the fact that they were restrained enough to not use Donkey Kong anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they crammed in a lot, but they didn't cram in too much.
Yeah. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like, I like Donkey Kong. I think Seth Rogen, like, he could just play Seth Rogen, but I think he's a good fit personality-wise for the character. Yeah. But my whole thing with Donkey Kong is that I genuinely feel like if we're going to do more Donkey Kong, we need to do a straight-up Donkey Kong Country movie next.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that we didn't really, get too much into him.
Which he's shown interest in doing.
I do really like the fact that he is kind of canonically in his original arcade Donkey Kong arc.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to kidnap the mayor.
But you know what, Dragon? I got to admit, like, I now that you said the thing about Walk the Dinosaur,
right?
I can't unsee. That would be
you got to look into it, Tiki. It's so darn catchy. It's like,
that'd be like the one fucking like obvious on the nose like IP like license song that would actually work really well.
Yes,
I need to look that up now.
Because it feels so. It just feels like the perfect homage to the 90s.
It would be a genuine callback to the Super Mario, the original live action movie too. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we start working in fucking Easter egg from the Mario.
I want to be clear though. I don't even know if that song's in the Mario movie. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Anyway, the point being, I love that we fill in the blanks. And Yoshi overall, I thought again the nostalgia and the connection I do have to Mario, the little that there is again like. Being able to ride Yoshi was always the coolest part of those games to me. So I have a fondness for Yoshi, and just doing Yoshi here, making him like the highlight of the film. I thought he's an adorable companion. I just love that we
drive you crazy. There's people that are legitimately complaining, like, "Well, Yoshi doesn't have a character arc. He's just kind of there." And I'm like, "Yeah,
that's the point. He's supposed to be there.
He's Yoshi.
He's basically Mario's pet, dude. Like, what do you fucking expect?"
And at least they gave him personality.
They did. They gave him hella personality.
Yeah. That's like when they're getting ready for Peach's party. Like, first off, they just love how they kind of brush off. Like, okay, he's just joined the party. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then he just gets ready for the party by putting on sunglasses.
I love that.
Again, like look, I'm not trying to call these people like bad faith critics, but I'm just saying like they are not, their
Like,
expectation for what this movie is not lining up with the reality of what this movie should be. But
the issue is, like, I don't think a lot of these people have a sense of whimsy anymore.
I mean, it made me care. What more do you need? It made it. I don't know. It's just enough that it's entertaining and you feel a little something. I don't know. It's enough to me. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. The point being that the game nostalgia that I have for Yoshi, I think, was well represented here. But more so, again, beyond that, what we did in this, for what Tiki's saying, again, I love that we turned the duo into a trio in a natural way in which Yoshi's there and everyone, they both like him. There's no competition, like aside from Toad, maybe, with, it's which we do kind of in a funny way here and there. I don't.
I've heard complaints that it's like, oh, Toad is like jealous of Yoshi, and then they just kind of drop that plot line. And I'm like, do you really want to see something like that, like beaten to death throughout the whole movie? Yeah, exactly. I think it's funny for a gag. It was supposed to be a gag. It was supposed to be a fucking character arc.
That's the thing. So it's just the fact the brothers got an awesome pet. That's all we need. That's enough. And then they got an awesome pet.
And then they played with it again later with Mario and Fox, which is kind of also calling back to Mario versus Donkey Kong. And then Mario and Fox just immediately just hit it off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like they were subverting like the usual stuff there. Like, okay, Mario's gonna feel like, hey, this guy's encroaching on my territory. I'm misinterpreting his dynamic with Peach, and I have a dynamic with, and it was not doing anything.
And then he's like, awesome, right, bro?
So let me say, yeah, you're right. It says, I like this guy. Wahoo! I like this guy. Yeah. All right, so I gotta be honest. So with the Yoshi stuff and in general, all this, like the party stuff, I love slice of life Mario. I really do, and I love the mundanity and the slice of life. It's the idea that, again, it takes me back to what I loved about Act 1 of the first movie, which was like seeing stuff I never really imagined or thought about with Mario, which is like, before, he's going through warp pipes and stuff, he was a plumber. And logically, this is what Mario would do, and he's trying to get the business up and running.
With the dog in the first movie is still like one of the highlights from both of these movies, I think.
But you see what I'm saying, though. This is the fact that, again, these are like things that we'd never be able to get in the game, that you would do a movie for, and it made it count. And this kind of stuff here, like, it's Peach's birthday. Mario likes Peach, and I love the scene where Luigi and Yoshi are teasing him about it, but they're very supportive of it.
By the way, I love how That's Amore shows up as a credited song in the credits.
Well, they sang it.
Yeah, I know. I just found it amusing that's how little licensed music is in this movie. It's like that and like two other songs. Like that's it.
Of course, I get a lot of people are, well, not as much now. I think in the first movie was a big to do, but I think Pratt's spoken about it more so. But the whole thing of like how much we're pushing the Italianness of the Mario Brothers, and I think we're doing stuff like this, and we're using the catchphrase and everything. We're using it in places that make sense. I feel like it's represented. It's there. It feels like Mario.
I will say, just based on the, let's talk about the cast really quick. Just, I honestly think Pratt has really sort of come into the role a lot more than
he's a great everyman Mario. He feels like an everyman Mario, and I like that.
Like, I feel like the first movie, his accent was a little bit more, I don't want to say inconsistent, but I feel like he was he didn't really have a lot of confidence with it. And I feel like here he's really grown a lot more comfortable with, like you said, Dragon. It's not like he's trying to do Charles Martinet, which I really appreciate. And I do also appreciate the fact that the Charles Martinet style of Mario was literally what they used to advertise the Mario Brothers plumbing. That was a fun detail from the first movie, but I digress. Charlie Day's killing it. Like, it's great that Charlie Day is in more of the movie. He's absolutely fucking killing it. I love him as Luigi. We need a Luigi's Mansion movie, or at least a TV spinoff, please.
Wouldn't that be awesome if instead of the third Mario they just did like a Luigi thing in the interim, because Illumination's done
I honestly think the best thing for Luigi's Mansion would be like a 40-minute special.
Well, you're right about that, but we know how rare that is these days.
This is more based on the games, but it is kind of funny that the Mario games are traditionally known for like their platforming and their jumping. Luigi cannot jump in the mansion games.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I know, but so it'd be kind of interesting how
Working
they
Captain
adapt.
Toad in the Captain Toad game.
Yeah, and they did have have Toad kind of become Captain Toad with his backpack in this.
A little bit, yeah. I definitely
remember-
think in the third movie they need to go full Captain Toad. He has to have like a full side quest. I think that'd be a fun way to keep the Toad character going.
And it could tie into Odyssey.
True.
Yeah, we get John Bernthal to be in the movie while we're at it. Anyway,
John Bernthal is Waluigi.
Or
well, you know, Charlie Day in interviews, he put him in the spotlight, and I think there's a chance it might happen. He said Danny DeVito as Luigi, as Wario. So
That's
saying
what I've been
cast,
fucking. If Danny DeVito is not fucking Wario, dude, there's something wrong with this world. It'd be like John Goodman not playing Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyway, what was I? Oh, right. Okay. So I love that Mario gifted Peach the iconic umbrella weapon. Which, when you think about it, oh yeah, we didn't have that.
I thought that was a really nice touch. It was a really good kind of, way to put an iconic part of the game into like a nice little character beat.
I gotta be honest. So Mario and Peach's relationship, man, I find it very charming, and it's still, from what I'm hearing, I really hope it ultimately isn't the case. From what I'm hearing like there's like some weird stipulation that Nintendo has that it's almost like a Mickey Mouse brand recognition thing, where like, Mickey can't he can't be what he was back when he was first created, kind of thing. We have to make sure Mickey do's and don'ts. In Mario's case, that apparently he can't have a definitive love interest. Like he can't actually, he can't be tied down per se. I guess like
So he's an
going
asexual king.
No, not like that. But, it's that he's. I don't know, maybe. But you see what I mean, though. It's the fact that we can't have like Mario like in love, because I think he's built a really good relationship. I know they're really good friends, which is why I like it. They don't necessarily need to be romantic.
Dragon, it's a Chris Pratt. It's a Chris Pratt potential trilogy. Of course, they're not going to get together.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt doesn't get the girls.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Anyway,
well, I'm just saying, if the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy is anything to go by.
I'm saying you got the girl for 2 movies, and then 2 movies and
not
an
necessarily. I don't think they were genuinely together in either of those movies.
In the second one, they were okay. Fine. Okay.
No, they weren't. Watch that movie again.
Okay, come on.
By the end of the second movie, they were beginning to see each other, and if you watch Infinity War, they were together.
That's what I'm saying. At least 2 movies in the grand scheme they were. In the first one, it was clearly they were going in that direction. I don't know. My point being, for this movie, I know you don't need it to be romantic, but I like that it's they are very good friends, and there's a trust there.
I like that it's literally as simple as it is in the games.
Yeah, it's as simple as in the games, but it's doing a good job, and that makes me root for these 2 crazy to get together.
And I do love how Luigi's kind of all in on it. Like you should ask her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the fact they're on board for it, they're saying, "You ask her on a date." Because of that, I'm rooting for the relationship.
And even Luigi's like, who knows? Maybe she has a princess for me,
which is great.
And for all based on the end credits, there is.
This is what I'm saying. It's just silly just to say like it can never happen. Just like flatly, just like deflating the balloon of like the will. Not even a will they, won't they? But I guess ultimately kind of a will they, won't they? Just he's always going after the princess, and all the games it's patterned off of that. Just the fact that sometimes you want to use a different princess.
What's funny, Dragon, is that in the games there's actually way more of a genuine like love triangle between Mario and Bowser and Peach. Like Peach genuinely does swing for Bowser in a couple cases.
But that's the thing. The way we do it here, it makes a lot more sense. Where she would never go for Bowser, but Bowser definitely he's got some hard feelings about everything went down, but I don't know. It just really, it's something I would like to root for. I hate that potentially they've taken it because sometimes we want to switch out the princess so we can't tie him down to anyone. That to me is very ridiculous.
I don't think that's it though. I don't think that's it because, for example, it's like Princess Daisy is like genuinely like Luigi's love interest, and then the only other princess we've had is like well, Pauline, but she's not a princess. She's literally the mayor.
Yeah.
And she's played off as like an old flame of Mario's, not necessarily a current love interest. So I don't really think we've ever diverted from Peach as far as like a love interest for Mario.
So you're saying historically in the games, it's never been a thing of like, okay, so saving, it said like princess.
Yeah, like Rosalina definitely wasn't like a love interest figure for Mario in that game.
Okay, well,
and technically until this movie, she was never officially referred to as a princess.
That's true too. Yeah.
Okay, well, regardless, though, my point being, I hope it's not off the table because I think they have really good chemistry and we've built the relationship and the trust. Like she trusts him to run the Mushroom Kingdom. That's a lot of respect that they've grown close.
I kind of love the King Mario thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's not. I love seeing him back her plays and everything. There's a really good connection there. It speaks volumes that she trusts him with the kingdom and all that. And in hindsight, though, she really just should have had the foresight to let me take Mario with me for the adventure instead of. So here's my one singular gripe with the movie. Okay. My gripe is,
I feel like the only reason we did that, the only reason we made that plot choice was literally just because the movie wanted to have two different groups of characters so we could get to twice as many locations.
So that's my gripe. Is it feels a bit convenient or contrived to split them up into two groups. It's an old time-tested trope just to have the two plot points to basically have the plots fall into place, and then we're going to bring it back for the third act ultimately, or more or less. So it just feels a little. It's not bad. It just feels conventional. It doesn't kill the movie for me. It just feels like that's fueling the fire for like all these like, oh, it's terrible. It's
It is kind of.
I mean, like I said though, at least Mario and Luigi are like together. Like that to me was my biggest sticking point with the whole first movie.
And it is kind of like, oh hey Mario, you know how you saved my life in the entire Mushroom Kingdom in the first time around? Well, why don't you stay here and help while I go on this space adventure?
Yeah. Now, to be fair, she does love her kingdom, and the fact is, like, again, I'm not put off by it in the sense, like, we get some of my favorite Mario stuff when she leaves him in charge of the kingdom. But it just feels it's a show of trust. It's a thing that's important to her. I don't know. Anyway, so with that, I love Mario and Luigi helping out the Mushroom Kingdom. It's just it's a fun montage. We have some fan service in there for sure. We have like the giant goldfish. Chi-Chi?
I think this montage is like the perfect example of why this movie works just from a pure fun factor. Like, there's nothing like plot heavy going on. It's literally just showcasing Mario stuff in the format of an animated movie, and that is exactly what I want. Like, is it like I say, for me, the big hang up that I have with the criticisms with the Mario movie, just in general, is that for the longest time with video game movies, the criticism is like, oh, well, this doesn't really feel like what the game felt like. Like, this doesn't really, like, this visually doesn't really look like the game, or tonally doesn't feel like the game. This shit is the game, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is as close to the game as you could possibly get. It's in beautiful, like, genuinely some of the most impressive 3D animation I think I've ever seen, frankly, as far as just, like, the color composition and the shading and the lighting and everything. I think this movie looks fucking gorgeous. So, yeah, I mean, just seeing a sequence like this where it's literally, it's nothing but Mario references and Easter eggs and callbacks and stuff, but, like, I don't know. I just think it's a lot of fun. Like,
it's like Frog Luigi.
Frog Luigi, exactly.
So it's a cool day in the life. I want to see what they do in the Mushroom Kingdom since they decided to stay there, and I got my wish. I got to see, like, this is what life is like.
And also, I love the fact that we have, like, the world map to simulate, like, basically like each incident is like a level. Like, that's a lot of fun. Like, this sequence, again, it's exactly like what playing the game actually feels like, represented in the movie.
And so the Hammer Bros being a menace like they are in the games. Like Mario, like the Cheep, and then they got to use Yoshi.
What's the name of the fish?
Cheep.
Cheep?
Yes.
Okay. I think the big one is like Big Bertha. Yeah, I think so. I think the big one's Big Bertha.
All right, anyway. But yes, I mean the point being all that's great. Them helping the Mushroom Kingdom out around the clock, with Princess Peach gone. So we start with the Bowser redemption arc.
Yeah,
I just wish they didn't put so much of an emphasis on it in the first trailer, because for me that almost first of all, it literally is just like when he pops up, it's like, okay, we literally know how this entire scene is going to play out. But it also kind of killed the momentum on the trailer itself. I don't know. I thought that was just a weird way to start the first trailer off.
It's a fun just trailer notwithstanding, what is taking the movie on its own, just taking the scene on its own. It's a fun reintroduction of Bowser from where we left him off in the first movie.
And I love how it's just like standard like anger management exercises, like painting, gardening.
I'm also a sucker for miniatures, and I love they made him a little miniature castle and everything, and he's made like this little apartment. It's So it's a overall it's a very fun idea with Bowser, that he's been humbled with the blue mushroom, and
I really like that he's got the genuine rapport with Luigi, but still really bitter with
he's
Mario.
in a book club with Luigi.
like hey Luigi, what's up, Mario?
That's perfect.
He's just, I love that he's become this little hobbyist who's rehabilitating himself one day at a time. It's just such a great sell for like we've deflated where Bowser is, and then by the end he's going to be a flaming skeleton. It's like just show me how far we've come. This is going to be.
And then he shows the painting. Like of course he still hasn't given up on Peach. And he's like, my professional opinion, it's trash.
He's just like, how dare you insult my masterpiece, like the squeaky voice.
Like, I still got some demons, I suppose.
So beyond that, what we didn't get in the trailer, we get here is I love having the layers to Bowser where, with fatherhood, we see this as kind of a vulnerability to him, and he wants to be there for his son, and this is a great facet to the character that connects to an element I liked in the first movie with Mario, with the whole daddy issues thing. This is like, it's the old connecting bridge. One might say a bridge that ended in lava death, but it's a bridge. It's a connecting bridge.
Yeah, if there's one theme in the Mario movies so far, it's definitely fatherhood.
Yep. So, but yeah, I really respect the fact it's not an instant betrayal, which it very easily could have been. That impressed me. That he goads Mario into hitting him, which when you hit somebody, when they take hit damage, they revert back from wherever the mushroom is. And he's like, oh god, he smooches Mario. He doesn't get a kiss he gets a kiss from the princess at the end of the movie. He gets a big old
Jacob,
smooch.
do you remember if that's the case for the mini mushroom?
I don't. I think it might wear off.
I think in the games, if you get hit by the when you're in mini mushroom mode, you just die.
Oh.
I think it just wears off after a bit, unless I think it just wears. I think if it hits you, it wears off after a while. There are poison mushrooms that do instantly kill you. But I think as far as shrinking goes, I think it's just a temporary depower, and it just wears off after a while.
Because in the game, the mini mushroom is mostly used for like puzzles and finding secret passages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I digress.
Yeah. And here it does, and it is technically obeying the rules that the first movie set up. So
yeah,
it's at least somewhat consistent with both the movies and the game, I guess.
Oh.
So anyway, so it's just nice that he's actually loyal to him, and he and Mario are kind of working through some stuff, which I found. And Mario respects that Bowser is going to take the rap for his son destroying the. Which, by the way, I was surprised Bowser Jr. destroyed the whole Mushroom Castle. I was surprised they
oh yeah, it's like that was actually.
What that reminded me of?
What did it remind you of, Tiki?
It fucking reminded me of Frozen 2.
Ah, yes.
Where this movie had the balls to do what Frozen 2 didn't have the balls to do.
Yeah.
Arendelle
had its chance.
Let's just say, the part where Bowser Jr. confronts Mario and Luigi was actually, and to get Bowser was actually very impressive.
I think it was genuinely tense. It was a genuinely tense fight scene.
Yeah, no, it was.
He almost straight up killed them.
Yeah.
And then he just went to the We basically went to the final part of the problem and just took the whole castle with him.
Yep. It's a great sequence.
Like, Bowser Jr. is actually a pretty compelling villain.
Yeah.
And they managed to turn, like, somewhat of a villain that a character in the games that is kind of a joke for the most part, and actually make him a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of funny because they did the opposite
Bowser
with
Jr.
Bowser.
I forgot was maybe in I think one of the Yoshi's Island games. There's a final boss fight with him where he's like very imposing.
Well, that's actually Baby Bowser. You know, that is Bowser, but as a baby.
Oh, you're right. There is a difference. Damn,
Yeah.
my bad. Hmm.
I think I always called it like Big Baby Bowser.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
So let's see.
It's also
so
what they
we
call
get-
Bowser when he loses. They say, "Oh, look at a big baby
Oh my
Bowser
God.
whining that he lost."
So we get Issa Rae as the Honey Queen, the Queen Bee, the Queen. Jacob, what's her official name? Do you know? I know she was in fucking Mario Kart 7 randomly.
She could fit in a Mario Kart.
Apparently, yes.
Her name is his Honey Queen officially.
Honey Queen. Okay. Which I think it's really funny. Like I think it's really on spot on casting for like a character who's kind of like just comes and goes. Like I wouldn't be disappointed if we see a little bit more of this character in the future. I don't know, but I do think it's like I really like it's genuine that Bowser, you know, he takes the fall for these guys. I really think he means it. I don't think in the moment he has any intention of like, you know, like cheating his way out of this thing.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was like he was looking for the fastest out possible. It was like, you know, yeah.
And then when he's talking to like the minor bee, the mining bees, and he's talking about like, I had a love once.
He's about to do the Peach song.
I love that they restrain themselves though. That's the closest we get to Peaches, and it's just enough.
Yep.
Yep. Peaches.
It'll be really funny.
I feel like as far as the sequel goes, this movie knows that it's not just going to play the hits of the first movie and call it a day. You know?
Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny is everywhere Jack Black goes, you know, how you have like a rider in your contract, you have like the thing that's gonna be waiting for you where you go, like bottles of water or whatever, like teddy bears or I don't know, like whatever. I think it's a Marvelous Mrs. Maisel reference with the teddy bear. The point being, what if they just have like cans or like just like jars of peaches, like waiting
Oh my
for
God.
whatever he wants, like a basket of peaches.
And if people have pointed out, like, technically Kung Fu Panda 4 came out after the first Mario movie, but people have said his rendition of Hit Me Baby One More Time fits Bowser much more than that movie does.
I think the
about it.
cooler version of that dragon is if Jack Black was contractually obligated, where every time he appears in a room, there's like a tiny like a piano accompaniment, like that's just like do 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 do, just like kind of like the Family Guy gag with Stewie playing, you know, the trombonist for the fat guy.
Yeah.
Cut it out!
I have a glandular problem.
Exactly. But the cool version of that.
That'll be $60.
Oh dear, back when
$60.
Family Guy used to actually be funny.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Downey Jr. played a fat guy strangler.
Yep, he did.
Yep. Okay, so Bowser Jr. Yeah, I love that. The Common, am I saying his name right? The wizard.
Kamek.
Kamek, yeah, Kamek.
Kamek.
Kamek Koopa or just Kamek usually.
Okay, so I love how Kamek is like
Kamek,
baby.
by the way, just shout out, he is my main in Mario Kart 8.
And he's voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yeah, you're giving voice actors some big screen roles, which we need to do more of.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so Kamek, I love that he's like babying Bowser Jr. And like as he's helping him take over the family business while Bowser Sr. is away. Just great. Again, I like that ultimately Bowser Jr.'s whole thing is that fundamentally with the paintbrush as his weapon is that, you know, he's more creative than his father. His father, again, being kind of a classic side scrollery kind of bad guy, and just, you know, he's a very very simple motive, very simple. Like you kidnap the Princess Rhaegar, marry me. Bowser Jr. has grander designs that he's literally designing.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, does kind of borrow some elements of Bowser's actual plan from the Galaxy games,
Well, sure,
and a little bit from the later other games too.
sure.
I think a lot of elements from like 3D World and things like that as well.
I love that it's like his relationship with his father. I did not know what to expect. I was wondering if Bowser Jr. was going to hate his father or not, but it was like the idea that we went like the opposite direction. It's a twisted but genuinely touching father-son story, and
I
love
really
it.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the flash. Okay, the biggest audience thing we had, myself included. My buddy and I, it wasn't a packed theater because they were doing round-the-clock showings of Mario, and so it was packed. But the theater we had was thankfully not too crowded, but the audience was liking it. My buddy and I, which has a story. Tiki, I'm not going to tell. I might tell you this off air. My buddy recently, he has a story that would make you weep. You know, something happened to him. It's like it is. Oh boy, I feel. Again, I'm glad that he had like this happy moment before the bad thing happened to him. That is going to make you weep. There's this moment. There was a flash. The little flashback to Bowser doing the little bedtime story for Bowser Jr., which again connects to our opener with the Lumas in a sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everyone collectively we lost our crap seeing Puppet Bowser with puppets and the puppets being animated so almost in practically in live action. They were done that well. Just my God, everyone
that's
in the theater
got to be the most photorealistic stuff that Illumination has ever shot, right? It's gotta be.
Yes, I was impressed and I was laughing on the floor. And it's like the way in which the puppet is animated, were like just like the leading, like yeah, like the little encouragement, little hand gestures, and oh my God, it was just so funny.
And another parallel, as we noticed, like he wants to hear the same story over and over again, just like the Lumas did.
Love it.
But the story he wants to hear is vastly different than what the Lumas want to hear.
So it's great that we gave like Bowser these redeeming qualities. It's like if he was a good father when he showed up, otherwise he was busy.
I will say I do kind of wish that the first movie had at least hinted at Bowser Jr. I feel like in retrospect that's a little bit of a flaw. Just with
you want the conception of Bowser Jr. Is that what you wanted?
Though this movie does kind of hit like why aren't you in boarding school? It's like boarding school, more like boring.
Just a mention, dude. Just a mention. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I could. Bowser's a busy guy.
I could see a deleted scene where it was like a thing where he's like trying to say, "Oh, okay, Peach, so we're on our date. Tell me a little about yourself. I have a son in boarding school. Yada yada."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like an awkwardly trying to like endear him to Peach or something like that.
I know we're getting married, so we should probably know each other. Like, do you have a last name or is it just Peach? Like,
or it's like just so you know, I am a single dad. I have a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see him much, but that's not because I'm a bad father, because he's in boarding school.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's all we needed. I don't know.
You know, he's a late bloomer, but he'll get there.
I mean, we had a fucking Diddy Kong shout out in the first movie.
Yep. All right, so we should probably talk about the Gateway Galaxy. This is probably where everyone's stumbling point is for the movie, most likely. So we have I'll admit, one thing I had was so Ukiki, is that that's the monkey that steals Ukiki.
Yeah, it is Ukiki.
So Ukiki, I felt was a little forced just to get Peach and Toad to Wart's Casino. I love Wart's Casino.
It's on brand with how he works in the game, though. I will say that.
All right, well again,
son of a bitch! Now I have to chase this thing all around the map.
All right, I'll redact my point on that one. If it's like from the game, it's like okay. I was thinking maybe it's like
because so Jacob, he's the same monkey that's in Super Mario 64, right?
I believe so. Like they're first according to the wiki, they were first introduced in the first Yoshi's Island.
Well, the first Yoshi's Island I think predates Mario 64. So
it is, but yeah.
So in Mario 64, the way he works is that he steals your hat, and then when you don't have your hat, you still can technically play, but you move a lot slower. And he can be kind of a son of a bitch to actually chase down, Jacob, right?
Yeah, he can be.
So, yeah, I think it's actually kind of on brand with how he works on the game, honestly.
Yeah, and it does kind of highlight how frustrating it is.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised he's not involved more in Mario Party. Actually,
That's
he is in
true.
Mario.
That's a good point.
Actually, he does show up in Mario Party, but I don't think it's as much as I don't think he steals things in those games.
I mean, he could have his own like fucking like space. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
All right, so regardless, it takes us to Wart's Casino, which I gotta admit, I love the location of Wart's Casino. I enjoy a good casino, and it was
the way that the gravity works in the casino is basically the most screen accurate version of the way the gravity works in the actual Galaxy game. Just in case you're wondering about that.
That's pretty neat. In general, I love it's basically what if Canto Bite was cool? Like what if Canto Bite
basically yes.
What if it actually was like something? It was like a fun side quest. You know, where Peach and Toad are getting into the action here. We have like just I love the roulette with all those little floaty ninja guys. I don't forget what they're called.
Ninjas.
Just ninjas, really? They shortened it. Okay, so ninjas.
So
here's one thing I have
on is Wart. I think that just having Wart at all is just really, really funny. It canonically in the games, Wart doesn't even exist. He literally is just like part of the dream. Like all of Mario 2 is just a dream that Mario has.
Yeah.
So but I was not expecting to see Birdo and Mauser as well. That was
okay.
fun.
So Birdo is like what that one I of all the things I expected in the movie, like when I saw in the trailer, Birdo was like the one, like that was my member Barry's character. It was like, oh, Birdo, I remember the one that shoots the eggs.
Yeah, because she's from the original Mario Advance.
And Mario,
so follow me on this, Dragon. I'm sorry, it does get a little confusing.
And
the
Mario
original
2,
Mario Advanced is a remake of Super Mario Brothers 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which wasn't even technically originally a Mario game.
No, it was fucking Doki Doki Panic, as any Nintendo YouTuber on the planet will tell you.
Yeah, so we don't even really need to go into detail about that. but yeah, so it was kind of interesting, and Luis Guzman was quite a good choice for him, I'll say.
He's very
I love the way that they did the bubbles, because that was definitely a part of his character in the game. Like I believe in the way that you fought him he's the final boss of the game, and I believe you fought him using the bubbles, right, Jacob?
Something like that. Like I think you throw the vegetables into the dream machine or whatever it's called.
Anyway,
I don't. Yeah.
Maybe the bubbles are just a projectile attack. Anyways, I digress.
I think so, yeah. So, it's been a long time since I've actually played Mario 2 and Mario Advance. So, but it was still
I honestly wish they put the Mario Advance games on Switch Online, just because they are genuinely like really good remakes.
They are, yeah. Maybe Nintendo just sees them as redundant.
Well, actually, the Mario Advance 3, which is the Super Mario Brothers 3, that's the one time they actually... No, wait. It's 4, I think. Because I think 3 is Yoshi's Island. Oh my god. They really fucked that up.
maybe Nintendo just sees them as redundant, considering they have all the original games on there.
But 3 is on there because... God. Anyways, I'm sorry. We're losing the plot here.
Yeah.
Seems on brand according to the critics.
You're right.
but yeah, it was like seeing the ninjas, like, oh, the ninjas. I was kind of excited to see the ninjas, to be honest, because like they haven't appeared very often in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously seeing that, and like obviously we've had like more Birdo, and obviously Mauser was a bit of a surprise too, like Dragon.
Yeah, said. Mauser's definitely a deep cut, because Birdo's usually in like the sports games and the Mario parties and stuff like that. But yeah, Mauser doesn't freaking pop up, and I don't think Mauser's been in anything except Mario 2, from what I can recall.
Is Birdo single?
Okay.
No, I'm asking because like it always felt to me like Birdo, we have like the bow and everything. And they have Yoshi, and there's kind of a similar design. Like, what do we ever do? Like, did Yoshi ever?
I don't
there a
really
lady
ever
Yoshi?
think the two interact, from what I can
Right?
remember.
Yeah.
Except in Mario Kart Double Dash, they do pair the two of them up in Double Dash.
But probably only because they look alike, and they're like all the we have to have pairings that make sense. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. I was always just curious, like if they ever did like a Mrs. Yoshi thing, and if so,
Honestly,
Birdo
I
would
wouldn't be
become.
surprised if they work that into the movie somehow in the sequel.
What the sequel is just one thing I want for the sequel, honestly, whatever it may be or titled, whether it's accurate to what it's adapting or not, I have no idea. But we need Wario. Wario is our third act, man. Wario is the thing we got to do.
Yeah, Wario would be the ideal villain for the next.
I think you could build a whole movie off of Wario being the main villain as well.
Wario could even get his own movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to establish him in a Mario movie first, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, can you imagine the Super Wario movie?
Well, no, but I can imagine a WarioWare movie for sure.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a
WarioWare. There's a shit ton of characters you can build off of for WarioWare. Anyway,
exactly. But yeah, like the fight scene was pretty interesting. I will say, like they took advantage of the gravity the gravity in the casino, which made for a really creative fight scene.
I love the use of the items in this movie. I love how it's literally just as inexplicable as it is in the games. It's like Toad just randomly is like, I'm a penguin now. Wee. Like, again, it's like what people see as a negative of like, oh, they could just pull these items literally out of their bag and just. I'm like, yeah, that's how it works in the game. This is a fucking movie of the game.
Yeah. And it's not like it's breaking any rules of the established universe.
No, it's absolutely not. In the game, they literally carry around bags of items, especially in like not every game has that, but Super Mario Brothers 3 definitely has that.
And like this, it was even from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So. I have no idea.
Okay, let's see. So, so our two groups reunite. Poor Mario with the whole hug handshake thing. I felt so bad for him. Like, oh, Mario. Oh. We introduced Star Fox.
Now I gotta say, I am really. What? Sorry.
Is it? Well, what's the name of the character?
Fox McCloud.
Fox McCloud. Sorry, Fox McCloud.
No, you're
the
good.
Game and the agency he works for, or his fleet is called Star Fox.
Okay, so I think probably the single biggest mistake Nintendo made through this whole process, this whole movie, is revealing that Fox McCloud was in this movie like a week before it came out.
Yeah,
like
I think it was leaked, and then they had to do something about it.
I mean, I guess, but did they really have to confirm it? I don't know.
They didn't have to say Glenn Powell did the voice. I can tell you that much.
It's a shame, though. It's a shame if it was, because how cool, like, because up until I heard about him being in it, up until like a week before, the thought of him being in it honestly hadn't even crossed my mind at all. Like, honestly, what I always thought that Nintendo would do with the cosmic side of the universe, and I still think this would be a smart way to do it, would be to do, instead of like a Star Fox movie or a Metroid movie, do an F-Zero movie and have Fox McCloud and Samus as competitors in F-Zero and have it basically essentially be like a sci-fi wacky racers of sorts. I don't know.
Can I just say though, I love how they did the animation for like him when he told his backstory.
Yeah, awesome, love it.
Like the anime style esque. And they even talked about like that's what I get for having a Toad as my mechanic.
But I love how when he says that, we see like the actual like render of Slippy from the N64 game.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't play the game until I was in college. And my friend had a Nintendo 64. Like, and I played, in my dorm we had that. Well, it was like a dorm of multiple people. There's like 6 people in the dorm. Like what we did was like when we played Star Fox, I was Slippy in the multiplayer.
Okay, so Jacob, we gotta cast them. We gotta cast the other Star Fox crew.
The funny thing is, Glenn Powell seemed more like a Falco, to be honest.
He does, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
But I mean, I don't get me wrong. I liked what Glenn Powell did with Fox, but he just seemed more like he does seem more like a fit for Falco.
Honestly, his personality is. I'm going to be curious to see how they handle Falco because I feel like Fox's whole personality is a little bit more Falco coded.
It would have been interesting to use Falco instead of Fox in this movie, but they probably went for the
that would have been. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that. Anyways, so I think we got to have Tom Hanks as Peppy.
Tom Hanks, yeah, that would be great.
I think that would work. I think that would fit. I think for Slippy, I think Aziz Ansari.
Yeah,
right? I could see it, right?
I can kind of see him working as Slippy, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Falco I'm having a little bit of trouble with. I don't know. Dragon, do you know anything about Falco?
Not a thing, no.
Han Solo, but a Falcon, essentially.
Let's see.
Nothing.
It'd be funny if we just got Alden Ehrenreich again. Do
Yeah,
another Han Solo type character.
Be a way to do it.
I mean, I can honestly see that. And now, what about Wolf?
Oh God, I don't know. Dave Dishmalchin.
Why not?
I'm genuine. I'm not even playing around. I genuinely think he'd be good at it. He's got that kind of menacing quality to him. Anyways,
I'm not doubting it. I can honestly see that. Now, how would they handle Andros?
That's a question for another day. Let's get back into it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I do think that Fox is handled really well. I think that they make one barrel roll joke during his intro where he's like, all right, I like to go around to do sick barrel rolls. And then they make a barrel roll joke when he's literally doing a barrel roll while he's piloting the goddamn Common Observatory, which to me is just like the fucking coolest thing in the whole movie. So I don't think they overdid it with the barrel roll thing. I think they did it just enough.
They had to do it. They had to get the barrel roll moment in there.
It literally, yeah. There's no reason why they. Yeah,
they had to.
All right.
I already mentioned. Really I like that there's no.
Also passing up Rob the Robot as well.
Okay, so you're right. We got to talk about Rob the Robot.
Slothmaster meets Wally.
Okay, so no joke. Okay, so recently I just kind of killing time before the movie. Not before the movie, but like the day or so leading up to the movie. I was going through the History Channel again. And I was watching this thing like the toys that built America, and I watched this one about Nintendo versus Sega. And there was a thing about talking about Nintendo and how this I completely forgot about Rob the Robot, and like before I saw this movie, it was an education. Like, oh yeah, Rob the Robot's kind of an interesting idea. Like they had like the kind of the built-in player too, but he ran so slowly it was pointless. And then lo and behold, when he showed up while I was in the theater with my buddy, like he showed up, and it was like I was like, oh my god, it's the brother! I just learned about it. It's him.
And the thing is that outside of Angry Video Game Nerd and Smash Bros, not a lot of people remembered Rob either.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like, oh my god, it's
Yeah, true. That I did actually play DS. I don't remember Rob.
There were some weird Mario Kart inclusions, dude, and I haven't even played Mario Kart World, and I know there's a lot of weird characters in there.
Like, yeah, they even dropped some of the cool DLC characters from 8.
God, I wish I had the money for a Switch too, but I just don't.
Inkling was my Inkling. I just like Smash. I always raced as Inkling in Mario Kart 8.
Mm-hmm.
But Inklings are not in Mario Kart World.
Anyways,
but and to speak on dragons kind of thing, like Here's the thing. I've never even played the games myself. But when I saw the Pikmin, I was like, Pikmin! I was like, I've never even literally played the games myself, but I was like, hey!
Everyone loves Pikmin, though. Pikmin are so lovable.
They are. Like I said, I've never even played the games myself, but I was like, oh, look, it's the Pikmin! Like, I actually said it out loud, well, not out loud, but like, to myself in a theater, like, probably enough for the person next to me who actually heard me. And apparently Samus's ship is seen in the background, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So we don't actually see Samus herself, but she is there. But yeah.
Like I said, I really don't think you can do a Metroid movie, especially with Illumination. But I don't know if I could see them doing a live action Metroid movie the same way that they're doing the live action Zelda movie, so that might have potential. Who knows?
I could honestly see. I mean, who knows? Maybe not Illumination, but I could totally see an animated Metroid movie working.
Yeah, but it's like if you're not going to do Illumination, that might be like almost a little bit too much studio cross-pollination, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I feel like an animated Metroid movie, you would have to make it PG-13. Like, you cannot do a PG Metroid movie.
I mean, a lot of the games do tread the PG line, so it could work.
I don't know, man.
And can we just point, since we're not going to talk about it anyway, like, the irony of Sony making the Zelda movie.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. I do think that Mason Thames is a perfect link. I will say that much.
I don't have any problem with the way the movie's going. It's just like, it's ironic that of all companies, they went to Sony and made the Zelda movie. Considering Sony and Nintendo's console history.
Oh yeah, right. I feel that.
I'm not going to go into it here, but let's just say Nintendo burned a bridge in the early days.
Very true. All right.
Moving on.
All right. So, let's see. So again, we do the barrel rolls, do the Fox McCloud stuff. I already mentioned I like that we kind of subverted the any jealousy or animosity between Mario and Fox McCloud, which was a smart choice.
It's like, love your ride, bro.
Yep. Let's see. So I love that Bowser didn't want to kill Mario because they had a moment, and he just has. I love that he's kind of copy. I was invested. It's like, oh my god, Bowser, what are you gonna do? He's like, oh son, let's not kill them. So they use, I believe, what's called the Super Scope, the little baby weapon.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Use the Super Scope to give us baby Mario and Luigi, which we've established.
Canonically, again, here's the Nintendo nerd coming out. In the it was just used as basically like a Super Nintendo light gun, just a generic light gun for Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, yeah, sure, why not? It turns them into babies now, sure. Let's go with that.
And it's like gonna send them crying to their mommies, and literally turns them into babies.
Oh no, babies!
So I love Peach's reaction to the whole and we keep getting dinosaurs everywhere we turn.
Especially like the realistic T-Rex, which is a lift from Odyssey.
Which is a fun gag. Yeah. It's like dinosaurs is like yelling at he's roaring at Yoshi, and he's like, okay, I can't stare that down.
The thing, like one of the things that sold people on Odyssey originally was being able to control the T-Rex.
Yeah, that is true.
Right. Let's see. So, the Lumas saved the day ultimately, which is nice. And give them a ride.
Leads to Fox McCloud doing a barrel roll while piloting the goddamn Comet Observatory.
Yep. Can we talk about how cool location Planet Bowser is?
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it's really in any of the games, from what I know.
I think it's the planet itself isn't, but it's definitely like drawing from like I said, I think it's mainly drawing from something like Super Mario 3D World.
And yeah, I can see that. You know what? It also kind of had a little bit of like a Mario Party vibe to it almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Because I haven't played Mario in a long time, but I will say this: it felt very authentic. The kind of gags you would see in like a Mario game or a level in Mario, so it felt really on brand.
Mm-hmm. And it does reintroduce kind of as foreshadowing with the Koopas going under the Koopa Troopas going under the lava and coming out as dry bones
on a roller coaster. So, I mean, Tiki, you must have loved this section, like the amusement park vibe of Planet Bowser, right?
I'm an easy man to please sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
But yeah, I do really like the dry bones thing. Was my favorite part of it, though. That was a really clever way to showcase that.
It feels like a very Rocco's Modern Life gag too, which I really liked.
Coming soon to Super Nintendo World, Bowser drop.
Yep. Make sure you sign the waiver first.
With actual lava.
Oh god!
Yep. all the critics of the Mario Galaxy movie, you get free admission to test out the ride. See how accurate it is now. Step right up.
Oh god.
All right, so it's a cool location, very game-like. I love so during the action, we drift into the third act. I love the 8-bit homage where we see like 8-bit Mario and Peach like on like the screen as like Bowser and Bowser Jr. like watching their progress through the death traps.
The funny thing is,
this whole thing, it isn't just like an 8-bit homage. It's literally like a big homage to the castle levels of the original Mario game,
and also kind of like Mario Maker too.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard something about like literally the level map that we see on the screen is actually a Mario Maker level. Like it was actually made in Mario Maker.
As far I didn't hear anything about that, and I can't confirm that myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it does kind of seem like something a Mario Maker map would look like.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, it is kind of funny how they adapted the modern Peach's look into 8-bit, because that is not how Peach looked in 8-bit at all.
That's true. That's true.
But at least I know why they did it, for consistency and all that. So it works. And of course, I love it was like Bowser Jr.'s like security system how they did that. And then when they escaped, it did the do 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 do.
Yeah, and once again, this whole thing just for me, it really is just kind of like, all right, like this is the game. This is exactly what the game is. It's obstacle courses. It's avoiding fireballs and shit. It's the flagpole, And then I love how we have the this might be skipping ahead just a little bit, but I love how we have the face off with Bowser that's basically framed as like a like that kind of like primitive quote unquote boss battle with Bowser from the original Mario game, and we do it, because it's on the bridge. We do it as like an epic standoff, a la like Temple of Doom with the bridge in that finale.
And I was kind of geeking out about that. I was like, it's just like the original. Obviously, it's just like Bowser with Mario with axes on the bridge. It's like
it's perfect, man. It's perfect.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, the boss battle being represented was, the little I know about Mario was like, oh, okay, this is classic. We're doing the games flawlessly here. We already had getting to the end of the level and just Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s reaction, just like the whole gobsmacked, like they made it to like climb the tall tower and everything, like the little flag. All we're missing is like the little flag.
I will say how cool it is though for Mario. Mario, he does kind of get a save the princess moment where he guided the bombs down into the lava, and then used the umbrella to lift himself and Peach out of there.
Yeah, it was great. But seriously, this is that classic bridge boss battle. I love that we've infused the betrayal and the pathos in there. Like, but like he's really, look, Bowser, I know this. Mario, it's like he takes no joy in beating Bowser and essentially, at least for a moment, killing him. He takes no joy in it. He tried to talk off the legends, like, yeah, we had a moment, Mario, but it's past. And it's just great. Like we full on killed Bowser, but it's the illogical logic of this world in which, well, living skeleton, which is an ingenious idea, which we have established very well.
I will say, as soon as I saw them establish the dry bones the way they did, I pretty much called that we were going to get dry Bowser by the end of
No,
this.
for sure. No, that makes sense. But it was like a thing if you never thought about it until the reminder of like, oh, that's how they die, and that's what happens when they die like that.
And dry Bowser is a pull from the games too.
And when we had dry Bowsers or skeletons in the first movie, but we didn't know how they die. They're like it was like just random skeletons.
Well,
Like
the random skeletons are called dry bones.
The first game does establish this the first movie does establish this when when some couple of the Koopa Troopas like backtalk him or sass him or something, and he blasts them with fire and they turn into dry bones.
Right. Well, there you go. Point being, it's fun to apply it to Bowser now. So
I think fans, obviously people who played the games would know that Bowser wouldn't die, but it is still kind of surreal. Like Mario, like full on just sent Bowser careening into the lava, not actually knowing he'd survive.
Yeah. But again, reluctant. He didn't want to do it, but he kind of had no choice. Like Bowser's coming at him. He jumped over and he saved the princess. That's what Mario does.
And let's talk about how Bowser himself, like he was willing to actually be a good guy, but when his son came back, he went back to being being a bad guy for his son.
Yeah.
So in a way, he kind of is being a good father.
It's almost like
in a very strange, dark way.
Yeah. It's like the alley fight at the end of Daredevil season 1. Only give a mustache and a hat to one guy. Put the other guy a turtle shell. It's all their decisions have led them to this moment. They're both trying to do the right thing, but it's this epic struggle.
Yeah.
The not free was Bowser.
And of course, one of the grievances that Bowser has is like, so you can shrink me again? Put me in a book club?
He must have really hated that book.
but he seemed to at least like Luigi, though.
No, that thing he likes. He did it for Luigi, which I think is really nice. But especially like a pottery class with Luigi. He has like the little pottery wheel, and Luigi has like the big pottery wheel.
Oh, like he's
and he like little handprints, like my pal Bowser, my pal Luigi, something like that.
But seriously, Bowser crawling out of the pit, like he was pissed
and he's terrifying. Like frankly, it's nightmare fuel. Look at that.
I mean, yeah, seriously, it was like they
metal Bowser. Did they play heavy metal music when he got out of there?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I don't remember. It's been like it's been a couple of weeks since I saw this.
Yeah,
or a week technically, yeah. I guess.
Yep. Anyway, so we reveal Rosalina we revealed at some point that she was Peach's sister, and then we have like the big sisters coming together moment where they put their hands on the glass, and they their powers in unison, kind of unleashes everything. Pretty cool.
Which I don't think was in the games themselves,
though.
No, I don't think the games even allude to that.
But
honestly, I'm not going to complain just because I do think that, like, with the first movie, there was some intrigue over Peach's backstory, and I think this is a clever way to tie Rosalina into that. I will say, though, Rosalina, her design, like, I always thought that Elsa's design was always kind of reminded me of Rosalina a little bit, and so now it's like we kind of looped it back around by doing the sister thing.
I like the sister thing because it's always like, I think, like, again, through the pop culture osmosis, if you never play the Mario games, you'd always assume like, oh, they're either related or they know each other. It's like they're connected somehow in some way, shape, or form to some degree, which ultimately they could always just be friends or just colleagues. But Making related was one thing, but in terms of the movie and what we've established, with Peach feeling alone, if it's a great mirror to Mario and Luigi. She got her sibling, she got her other half, and she's a lot happier for it. I don't know. It just felt it was a nice reward for Peach.
Yeah, now she has a sibling of her own.
Yeah, that explains how the heck she ended up in a warp pipe.
Yep. and back to Bowser and Bowser Jr. Their fight with the Mario Brothers and Yoshi was intense too.
Yeah, so that boss battle was really cool.
The movie, the thing is, the movie had bosses and then had a final boss.
Yep, they have some fun power ups, like the cloud power up.
And then of course, Tiki, you might have liked this one. Bowser Jr. painting the dragons.
Yeah, that was cool, but again, I kind of feel like they could have saved that for an Odyssey movie. That's my, the T-Rex and the dragon and stuff. That's I don't know. I kind of feel like we sort of blew our load on Odyssey stuff in this movie. Unfortunately,
I love that Luigi's crappy drawing beats Bowser with the hammer.
That's not a crappy drawing. That's
Jacob, explain it.
That's Mr. Game & Watch.
Mr. Game & Watch.
Thing is,
Mr. Game & Watch.
The thing is, in the early days, Nintendo had these rudimentary kind of portable games.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like better Tiger Electronics, essentially.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, and they had this the games themselves were called Game & Watch.
Ah.
And basically, it was images on a static image, and you moved it around using these plastic buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not explaining it very well, but the thing is, he was brought back in Super Smash Brothers, which brought him new life. And most of what he does in this game, in this movie, is lifted from his appearance in Smash Brothers.
He basically just performs his entire moveset from Smash.
Pretty much. Cool. So it is kind of another Nintendo kind of deep cut.
That's what I'm saying. To the layman, to the greenhorn, it's it's a gag of Luigi had a crappy drawing that defeated Bowser, but knowing that's actually
basically a doodle bob, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I took it to be.
Right.
But no, it's a reference to another Nintendo reference.
Here's a reference to something. I had no idea what though. I have no facility to find out.
But seriously, it's Game & Watch.
Okay. Well, Game & Watch had a fight that was kind of a fun 11th hour solve for the Bowser crisis, and then we have a moment where again Mario he does the right thing. He saves Bowser Jr. That is Bowser's just the head and he's just pleading.
Save my boy Mario.
Save my boy.
My boy. He's proud of his boy.
Yep. He was indeed proud of his boy.
Oh god. Oh, absolutely he was.
Yep. So,
especially considering Bowser Jr.'s Boomsday cannon was quite effective.
Yeah. Anyway, so they rebuild the Mushroom Castle, which I thought was nice,
And they did it in the 8-bit section.
I love the gag of it's kind of twofold. One, it's probably expensive to build a castle in that glorious animation style, so we gotta cut costs somehow. So 8-bit.
Yep.
On the flip side, I love the build up of the Lumens want to see the Mushroom Castle, and what are they?
The castle died.
The castle died.
I love that line because that really that kind of acknowledges Dragon, you and I always talk about stuff Breaking Bad. It genuinely felt like when they had to destroy the RV, it was the death of the character.
The death of the Razor Crest, man. I still
exactly. Yeah, perfect example.
I still feel that death, man. That one still hurts. That was the tragedy of that episode. Forget Kit. Baby Yoda's gonna be fine. All right, Grogu's gonna be fine. Okay, the Razor Crest. It's gonna come back. I don't know how it's gonna come back, but for a long time it was dead. It was dead as disco, man.
Well, maybe we'll see it in Mandalorian and Grogu.
No, we are, but I don't know if we are. I'm just saying I don't know why it's taking so long to get the new Razor Crest, but we are gonna come back.
And speaking of all this space stuff, it is kind of appropriate that this movie came out very close to the launch of Artemis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That and Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
It's a good time to be a fan of space.
It is.
If anything, Gosling should go as Luigi for this Halloween.
Oh, he totally should.
Like, I have yet to see Project Hail Mary, but I do want to.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I heard it, and I want to listen to the audiobook too.
You can.
I know. But
One of my favorite celebrity Halloween costumes will always be Paul Rudd, where his daughter went as the Wasp and
he went as Weird Al.
God, I love that so much.
That was really funny.
He would.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So then we have our. So we can.
When you should go as Aunt Man.
Oh god! What if he'll be adorable? What if Paul Rudd either he could dress his daughter as it, I guess, but it'd be even better if he could just somehow go with the real person, Rosemary Harris. Like, what if he's like,
oh god,
she's still around? I mean, Rosemary Harris is still kicking. You know, like, what if he did like a? He got all the Aunt Mays together. You have Rosemary Harris. You got Sally Field. You have Marissa Tomei. Yeah, we just surrounded doing like kind of like an all shucks pose, like, oh, aren't I the luckiest guy?
Okay, now that is the Aunt May movie that I would actually want. Just the multiverse of Aunt Mays.
Just Paul Rudd is like in the posters, like shrugging his shoulders, like, I don't know.
Oh my god.
It was seriously. So at the end of the movie, we rebuild the Mushroom Castle as it should be, and as Mario gets the cape, which I love, we gave him the actual cape. And he gets the kiss from the princess and credits. Like, yes, that's the movie right there. Yeah.
It's as Tiki has said this entire time. It's like the game.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
Then we have our hilarious big credit sequence.
Oh my god, dude! I love this little fucking Luma. Like such a creative idea. And
now, you know why they had to put this in here because of the first. They had to put him in there somewhere.
Okay, yeah, but I feel like this is another example of like, this movie, like, it didn't overuse Donkey Kong. It didn't overuse Peaches. This Luma could have easily been like half the fucking movie. He could have been like Frank the dog from Men in Black 2.
Yeah.
But they restrain themselves. They use him in one bit, and it's hilarious. It's awesome.
Especially considering this particular Luma is voiced by one of the director's daughters.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I really appreciate. I think that's one of the things that this movie is not getting enough credit for, is that they're not just going for the low hanging fruit of just repeating what worked in the first movie.
Oh yeah, but it's what's funny here is that the Luma that same Luma kind of inverts the joke from the first movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. Just the Bowsers are in prison. They're planning like a classic. And just the blue Luma is just like, it gets its revenge, and just like as the unsettling guard, which of course Jacob does bring to mind. I feel this Luma embodies the spirit of the Gritty reboot, does it not?
It really does.
Yeah, Tiki doesn't want to hear about the Gritty reboot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't have the sound effects queued up in this stage for it yet.
Oh no. Anyway, so then we have our post-credit scene in which we have character appearance.
It's Daisy,
Princess Daisy.
Tiki tries to steal something again, only to be punched off screen.
Yeah.
And who should it be?
It's kind of Luigi's Mrs. Potato Head moment, if you think about it. Mrs. Potato, Miss what a guy can dream, can't he?
It is, yeah.
Which at the end of Toy Story, we got the Mrs. Potato Head, so it does fit.
Because as I mentioned earlier in the movie, and as Peaches, she has a princess for me.
Yep, there you go.
And she does. If she actually knows who Daisy is, at least. Yep. But there is a princess out there for him. So. And even though people have pointed out, like, the movie's Peach is kind of like the game's Daisy, so it's going to be interesting how they make Daisy in the movies.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree, because it's like I feel like Daisy's more of just like a tomboy than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. I'm not saying I fully agree.
I feel like what you need to do with Daisy is you really need to lean into the sports competitive side of her personality, I think.
Which I think could actually work, and that would work out well with introducing Wario into the mix too.
Sure, sure.
I mean, because think about it, that's also where they introduced Waluigi.
Now with Waluigi, I'm thinking Steve Buscemi. I've always thought Steve Buscemi would be a good Waluigi.
Danny DeVito and Steve Buscemi.
That would be
Yeah.
a really good pair.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, I think Steve Buscemi like has the voice for it. I'm not just I'm not just stunt casting.
And this would and who knows, they could actually make Waluigi not suck.
Ooh, shots fired. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Look, as the layman in the room, I had a great time with the movie. I enjoyed it. Again, look, the first one is kind of the, like, we only get one bite at the apple, we make it count, which I think it did. So it's kind of hard to compare the two. But I mean, I thought it was a fun. It was just it's a fun movie. I would eagerly like to rewatch. It doesn't have the lightning in the bottle, perhaps like the first movie did, but it had a lot of really top tier stuff that I loved. It had like a lot of just great. It's a crowd pleasing movie, and that's kind of what you want from a Mario movie. It's hearts and minds, and it's kind of reflecting that in the performance in terms, at least financially. So I mean, everyone knew this movie was going to make money, but that much money in that short amount of time, that's impressive.
And I said, the movie knows what it's going to be from the outset. Like, it's not trying to be like this big commentary on anything. It's just providing a good kind of trying to provide a good time at the movies. And something we didn't bring up outside of my intro, like, this is probably Illumination's prettiest movie yet so far.
Oh, I brought that up a couple times.
You did.
Okay, maybe you did. You did. I will admit that, but I will reiterate, this is Illumination's probably their prettiest movie yet. They took full advantage of the cosmos with all the color spectrum and all that as well.
Mm-hmm. It was a great sequel.
I think I talked about the actors being more confident, but I think Illumination and the animation themselves is more confident. I think it's a more confident movie overall. It knew how to up the scope, and I can only wonder what they're gonna do for the next movie. And I had a good time too. I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
Yeah, again, like, I appreciate these movies just purely on the basis of, like, the games don't try to be high art in the storytelling or character development department, but they do try and just be pure fun, just color and just, like, eye candy. And these movies to me are the most screen accurate representations of what the video games are as far as the video game movie like subgenre goes. Like it just is this. Like, this is exactly what it feels like to not just experience the story, but to actually play the games. This is as close as you're gonna get, like, unless you're gonna go to like Super Nintendo World or something. So yeah, I just, like, on that basis, like, I don't understand the argument of, like, oh, well, of course, I don't agree with the defense of, like, it's a kid's movie, like, because obviously we've got stuff like Pixar for the deep emotional storytelling and stuff. This is a Mario movie, all right? And Mario is not supposed to have the deep character stuff. It's got just enough stuff with the father angle to it, with the fatherhood angle to it. And yeah, I just think that, like I said, if I were, my main gripe is with the Galaxy stuff. I truly think this movie should have been called the Super Mario World movie. Introduce Rosalina in this movie. Have more of a focus on the Galaxy stuff in the next movie, maybe. And like I said, I also have a little bit of a gripe with the fact that we kind of blew, like, 3 of the most memorable things in Odyssey, being, the T-Rex, the Sand Kingdom, and the dragon. So it's like, if we are going to go the Odyssey direction for the next movie, we kind of already sort of shot our shot with that. But still, I don't know. I just think these are fun movies, pure fun factor, and that's what the games are as well. So that's about it. All right. RYXZ Stanford. Hi there. You're catching the very end of this broadcast, but
yeah, you missed everything.
Yeah. Also, Little Blue just giving us some mushroom symbols. All right. Okay, guys, that's about it. Have a good night. See you later.
See, let's go. Thank you for
Fox
watching my movie.
McCloud.
Yoshi.
Fox McCloud does a barrel roll while piloting the goddamn Comet Observatory.
Thank you for watching.